So we are seeing that therefore material energy, uh, material energy is actually dangerous. So playing with material energy is a sensitive affair. The more cautious and alert we are, the more we keep it, uh, the more we keep it on a very, uh, the more we keep it on a very cautious note, uh, the more protected we are going to be. The more protected we are going to be. So now the question which comes further is that what do we mean by direct and what do we mean by indirect? So direct and indirect is a simple definition. The so direct and indirect is a very simple definition, because you see direct involves very much with Krishna Katha and Krishna Kirtan. That's direct. And indirect is any such aid which can help in Krishna Katha and Krishna. That which where the connection of how it is helping Krishna Katha and Krishna Kirtan is not there, that means it's not it is not even Karma Yoga there. It is going in something else. So where the connection is there, that how it is helping the Krishna Katha and Krishna Kirtan and any material manipulation, how it is helping Krishna Katha and Krishna Kirtan, and that clarity is there, then at least it is Karma Yoga. Nishkam, Sakam, that percentage depends on one's attitude. But at least it is Karma Yoga. Where the clarity is not there also, it is not even Karma Yoga. So this is the difference between direct and indirect. Now, so that means that anything which helps in so anything which is about Hari Kirtan and Hari Katha, so that means our sadhana is like that. Then preaching is like that. That's very direct. That's very direct. And any sort of material manipulation which helps in that is indirect. So now, the major portion of our life should be filled with direct activities. So the safety valve is what? The safety valve is give full justice to the direct. That will leave you less time in life. And in that less time you do the indirect, then everything is fine. We may say, oh, I have to build up a 100 crore temple just by selling Dhupati and distributing Bhagavad Gita, and giving preaching programs. Will that happen? Yes, it is going to happen. Yes, it is going to happen. We don't have to go for establishing $1 million corporate firm to make it happen. It's going to happen. So Krishna consciousness follows a different force field. Krishna consciousness does not follow the gravity of the material modes. Krishna consciousness follows a different force field. And therefore, although how Krishna consciousness works out may not be the immediate, how it is going to work out and how things will work out may not be immediately very clear to us, but it does proceed and work out. Just like you see our new town was a barren sort of a ground. New town was a barren ground. I remember some years back, I was standing there all night, and counting how many trucks of mud are being dumped. So that was my seva given for a few days, initial days. And I remember devotees would stay in that box No, and initial days, the whole ground was available, all four directions. Anywhere you can go for toilet, like that. So that was new town. But you see, 6-7 years down the line, nice temple has come up. Is it not? They have now good number of two-story buildings. The temple hall is nice. 50, 100 people can stand there, attend Aarti. So it's building up nicely. Is it not? So it is building up nicely. Is it not? There is 24 acres now. Initially it was only 4-6 acres. It's 22 or 24 acres now. So that means that the whole project is coming up very nicely. How it has all come about? It is coming about with the sincerity of devotees. So what is mentioned is that although the devotees are engaged sincerely in Krishna consciousness, preaching is not, preaching is given importance, sadhana morning program is given importance, and taking care of devotees, Vaishnava Seva is given importance. And after that, devotees are not callous to the point, or devotees are not casual on the point that this is sufficient. They are trying in whatever little bit ways they are able to for raising funds, and funds are coming. You see the point. That is exactly what Prabhupada is mentioning here, that one should not give up working with the material energy thinking that it is troublesome. One can take that trouble for Krishna. But in what proportion? The proportion is always decided by giving full justice to the direct aspects. So temple construction cannot happen at the cost of preaching. Rather, for the sake of temple construction, one can enhance the preaching. That is fine. Reverse is not fine. Reverse is not fine. Reverse is not fine. Otherwise, temple will be built, but only pigeons will come to attend the Mangalar. No, don't think it only happened in churches in Prabhupada's time. It happens in some Western temples also. So, unfortunately. So the whole point is, therefore, you see, Krishna consciousness has to be made the first priority. And now to serve Krishna, what is needed, one is ready to do. If it requires going and presenting about the Krishna consciousness projects to the government or to rich officials, it's fine. Or to industrialists, it's fine. If it requires to make Bhakti, it's fine. That's the point. Is it? If it is required to offer the ground for a marriage ceremony, that is also fine. But going and attending a marriage is not fine. You can offer the ground and maybe chant inside the office. Yes, that is taken care of. So, but not something too much off the track. Not something too much off the track. Like if somebody gets the idea, okay, let's manufacture mobile, a new mobile, like that. We'll make a mobile manufacturing unit that will get funds for Krishna. It goes too much off the track, it seems. Is it not? So that may actually turn the priorities, and it is a very risky plan. This has to be kept into mind. So here, when Prabhupada is talking about not being fearful of earning money or rejecting to earn money, it is very clear. This is very much in and around the direct process and giving full justice to direct process. This is not about professional life. No concept of professional life. Like Radha, Tamal Krishna Maharaj bus party, Radha Damodar bus party. So before the bus party, they were making Gupati. So, and so that's fine. You know? Prabhupada said, okay, you can make dolls of Lord Gauranga and Lord Nityananda. Is it? Prabhupada didn't say you start making children toys. No, he said just make dolls of Gauranga and Nityananda. You know? Now that is not to be stressed and no? Don't start making teddy bears and no, some some fighting. What do you call it as knights. You know, not those kind of things. You know. So, but just said Gauranga and Nityananda. It just means Gauranga and Nityananda. That's all. You know? Nothing else. Because Prabhupada said, let them play with Gauranga and Nityananda. By their mercy, they will become Krishna conscious. It was not a money-making enterprise. So, this is to be understood. So, a devotee is not, a devotee is holistic. And if it is required to get funds, he is ready to get funds. He is ready to work hard towards that objective. So he's not feeling that, okay, my only duty is to sit in the temple and keep Bhagavatam class for whoever comes, and I take prasad. You know, that's what I do. You know, no, whatever is required, I should be happy to do that. So this is the aspect which Prabhupada is talking about. Yes, question. Okay. So the question is that many Christian missionaries are quite dedicated as well. They go to austere places. Marx followers sometimes also work very hard, force themselves. So what is it uh, which prevents us from being dedicated? Is it that material energy, Maya Shakti, is more strongly acting on us, or is it that devotees lack conviction? What is it? What is happening that we know why we are not dedicated, or what stops us from dedication? Uh, so there is no doubt that we have a better opportunity to be more dedicated. But that substance is there in Krishna consciousness, and it will not be a drag for us. It won't be a drag for us. It is going to be it won't be a drag for us, because there is that constant substance, that nectar of Krishna consciousness which is flowing in. So because of that, a devotee can actually go ahead not with a feeling of emptiness, but he can go ahead with a feeling of relish. That way, uh, with a feeling of relish. So, uh, so that opportunity is there with us. Uh, that opportunity is there with us. So many a times, what happens is, so we see, okay, then what stops dedication? Actually, there is, if we try to understand, there is nothing which can stop dedication. There is no external factor which can stop dedication. So the only person who can stop dedication is the person himself. What is stopping dedication? Is our own decision. That's all. If we so decide to take the next gear of dedication, nothing can stop us. The full facility is available for us. Isn't it? What is stopping us? What is stopping us? Who is stopping us? No one is stopping us. All facilities are there for us. Today, if we want, each one of us can go and now open a new temple in different parts of the world. The entire GBC, the entire ISKCON community will support. What is required? Yeah, one can go to a barren area where there is the nearest ISKCON temple is 500 kilometers. And then what is required? What is required? You get books, you distribute books, you go cook for people, you give them prasad, take some rental, And the moment you start getting some congregation to send reports to the seniors, they'll facilitate. They'll say, okay, fine, And one can get a temple. So each one of us can open a new temple. Or who is stopping us? It's our own decisions. Who is stopping us? It's our own decisions. So the full facility in Krishna consciousness is there. But Krishna consciousness requires focus. So you see, what is happening is, the other thing what is happening is this, with these materialistic people's enthusiasm, they are not acting against the current of Maya Shakti. So whether they are enthusiastic, not so enthusiastic, it doesn't matter. So even if they are enthusiastic, they are diving into further degradation routes only. So the Maya is happy. Therefore, that fact is there that what resistance they are going to feel. No resistance. Is it? So, but as a devotee, we are going against the gear of Maya. So then that fact is there that yes, as a devotee, one is actually going against Maya. So then it's not that Maya is offering more resistance. Resistance actually starts there. Is it? Resistance actually starts there. So dedication is not resisted. Maya does not resist dedication. Maya is resisting liberation. Is it? One who wants to get out of her shackles, that such a person is being. So resistance actually starts for a devotee. That point is valid. But actually, the other point is also there. All the Maya's resistance is going to be there, but we are being supplied full ammunitions. Therefore, one should not stop. Yes. Yes.
So, that's why they are so dedicated. And we are not following our confidence to unmedicated. So negative personally comes to over that thinking of Krishna or to be Krishna. Even Marxists have overnight how to do that propaganda. But we are thinking, we are not in, they are in the crowd. We are in the groups. It is our fault. And Maya so considering very Maya polite and Vidya Bhakti
Yes, so we are responsible for our own lack of dedication because the full facilitation is there. Actually, Krishna consciousness has to be understood. That's why Krishna consciousness has to be understood properly. Wearing tilak is not Krishna consciousness. Having a shikha is not Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness translates, or Krishna consciousness means no one action. So what choices we are making, what activities we are doing. That has to be understood, and especially we need that discrimination to understand what is Krishna, what is Maya. Anything and everything is not Krishna consciousness. Where is Maya? We have to clearly understand. So yes, it's one's own individual decision. That's why you see. That's where our Acharya is saying that rather one can take inspiration from materialistic people. Having a shabby cause, they are so dedicated. Why should we not be dedicated? When we have a glorious cause, that's the point. Yes.
We want to construct a temple, we have to be able. We are not able. They are able for serving devils. और हम उनके बीच में रहे तो भी मान सकते हैं अपना को कंट्रोल करते हैं.
It is true. We have to be available for Krishna. So therefore, bhakti is about consciousness of Krishna's service and Krishna's pleasure. Krishna's mission, Krishna's service, Krishna's pleasure. That is bhakti all about. And then to work hard to get the required motivation to act on that platform, and then action on that platform. This is bhakti actually. And now to act, whatever material energy is needed, one should not be fearful of that or desist it just thinking that it is troublesome. One should be happy to take troubles for Krishna. So therefore here what is being talked about is actually bhakti yoga, which is the mature conclusion of the entire yoga ladder. So here what is being presented is the mature conclusion of the entire yoga ladder. Here concessions are not being discussed. And now now in 18th chapter it is now concessions are not being discussed. The mature result is being discussed. The conclusion is being presented. Yes. It's not Maya's problem, it's our problem. Correct. Nahi dehavita sakyam twaktum karmani asheshataha yastu karma phalatyagi satyagiti abhidhiyate. It is indeed impossible for the embodied being to give up all activities. But he who renounces the fruits of action is called one who has truly renounced. It is said in the Bhagavad Gita that one can never give up work at any time. Therefore, he who works for Krishna and does not enjoy the fruitive results, who offers everything to Krishna, is actually a renouncer. There are many members of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness who work very hard in their office or in the factory or some other place. And whatever they earn, they give to the society. Such highly elevated souls are actually sannyasis and are situated in the renounced start of life. It is clearly outlined here how to renounce their fruits of work and for what purpose fruits should be renounced. So Prabhupada establishes two criterion here, one who works for Krishna and one who gives everything to Krishna. So when both the aspects are satisfied, then such a person is a good actual announcer. So he is actually sannyasi, Prabhupada said. Two things, one who works for Krishna. So he's working for Krishna and he's offering everything to Krishna. So both the aspects are there. He's working for Krishna and he's offering everything to Krishna. So when one says that, okay, I work, uh, so when one is choosy about the type of work, then it is one level down. When one is, then it is one level down. And when one is working for something else, but offering a major component to Krishna, then it is again one level down. So we have to understand, working for Krishna, offering everything to Krishna. That is a matrix. Action, Prabhupada is explaining, is not to be curbed. Similarly, ambition is not to be curbed, but one should be ambitious about Krishna. Is it not? One should be ambitious about Krishna. One should act for Krishna. Is it not? So, one should be ambitious about Krishna. So, so that's why you see a devotee. You see, a devotee wants to make the whole world Krishna conscious. Can the whole world become Krishna conscious? Can the whole world become Krishna conscious? Can a devotee make the whole world Krishna conscious? So, yes, if Krishna empowers, it is possible. If Krishna empowers, it's possible. So there is Krishna's part involved in that. Now a devotee desires, he prays for everyone, like that. And a devotee is doing his part properly, so that if Krishna signs, or Krishna's part comes in, then the devotee's part is full volume. Like that. But if Krishna doesn't so desire, then whatever Krishna desires when he gets manifested, is it not? The devotee does his duty properly. Is it? That's why you see, making the whole world Krishna conscious, two personalities have to play their part. The devotee has to play his part, Krishna has to play his part. Devotee plays his part full, so that if Krishna agrees so, then it can happen. Is it? Like that. Ultimately, it's up to Krishna. Is it? That when is the right time? When is the right time? When is the right time for everyone? Like in Bombay, Vrindavan Leela also, you see, so all the gopis, they had a desire to join the Rasa Leela. But all of them were not successful in being able to join the Rasa Leela. All of them were not successful enough. Why? Because there was something lacking in their dedication, surrender. They are almost pure. They're pure devotees only, but some little bit purification more is required. And therefore they were unable to join the Rasa Leela. And because of that intensity of separation, that burned the further impurity. So next time more got qualified. And next time even more got qualified. And next time even more got qualified. So eventually everyone was allowed to join the Rasa Leela, but in a particular Rasa Leela pastime, not all the gopis were allowed. Some of them just couldn't make it. Just could not make it. With all their effort, they were just not able to join. The restrictions were and some of them it was as if they So some of them so. So some of them, the intensity was leaving body. They left the body. So in an attempt. But then Krishna made arrangement next time they joined. So that's the description of Rasa Leela which we hear. So if this is true for such great purity of devotees, what to say of all of us? Is it? So ultimately it's Krishna's desire. But a devotee does not leave any stone unturned. And therefore, as a devotee, devotee is ambitious and devotee works hard for Krishna's cause. To help people becoming devotees. To preach Krishna's cause. That's the point. Yes.
Everybody is pure, that's not even that. But why if that although they are satisfied with that, and the father has made that the way they serve that people have to, in order to serve the people, those people have to become that
Okay, so why are there gradations of rasa in the spiritual world? There is parental rasa, there is madhurya rasa, and one is greater, other is not so greater. You see, entrance to spiritual world is like passing marks. Yeah. So going back to Godhead is like passing the exam. You will get a certificate BTech honors. Like that. Going back to spiritual world is like that. But between passing and 100% marks, there is a whole ocean. Is it? Passing marks are 35. Maximum marks 100. The major variety happens between passing and maximum. Not between fail grade and passing marks. Not much variety is there between fail grade and passing marks. It's all the same. 10 number, 20 number सब एक ही है. 30 number, 80 number बहुत अंतर है. Is it? So spiritual life is full of variegatedness because that is our intrinsic constitutional nature. The multitude of the living entities means that there has to be variegatedness. And Krishna facilitates this variegatedness in these through these rasas, where one can, in a single rasa or a combination of multiple rasas, exist. That's the point. So there are not 5, but there are 7 secondary also. So, so that multitude of rasas, and when Krishna reciprocates in different moods, then there are different planets of the spiritual world. And when devotees reciprocate in different moods, then there is levels of rasa. So this variegatedness has to be there. This is the intrinsic constitutional nature. Rather, material world the varieties are less. Spiritual world the varieties are different. But they are all pure. That is from Krishna's point of view. From devotee's point of view, there is no problem. But from Krishna's point of view, there is always we see. If that differentiation is not there, that means that there is some stigma on Krishna's personality. Because a person means he will have his likings. So like Krishna comes, loves all animals. Therefore he takes avatar as all animals. He comes as a fish incarnation also. But in Vrindavan Leela, Krishna is not playing with fishes, he is playing with cows. We say, now what is this? That means Krishna loves cows the most, so cows are better. Yeah, that is from Krishna's perspective, cows are better. But so that means fish in Vrindavan is not so good. The fish in Vrindavan is all fine. Krishna also takes that that fish incarnation. Matsya avatar. Krishna himself takes a fish incarnation to substantiate that he is with the fishes, no problem. But if you ask Krishna, he will prefer cows more than fishes. Is it not? Because it's the person. So the person may have his flavor. That doesn't mean that there is something lacking.
We want every movie based on this perspective that they must come to only that.
No, not at all. Like no, same father may have one son, one daughter. He may prefer his liking maybe daughter over the son. That doesn't mean become wants the son to become a daughter. That's not possible also. You know, is it not? Whereas you will see the mother, she may like the son more than the daughter. So who is lacking? Who is having more age? It is not about age or lacking. From Krishna's perspective, that is a differentiation. Both are doing good. So the parents may have their liking over the children, but they will supply everything to all the children. But still they may have their preference. So that means Krishna is fully pleased with everyone and still he is having some preference. That's the whole point. So the differentiation is only now it's our problem. First of all, we ask Krishna to rank. When he gives ranking, we are in a problem. Why Krishna gives ranking? You ask for ranking, Krishna give ranking. Again. Now, if it is told that of all the acharyas, whom do you like most? Now, so I like Narottam Das Thakur. Then he will say, you are against Rupa Goswami. Rupa Nuga, what is the use of what Bhakti you are practicing? I say, I am all respect everything for Rupa Goswami, but personal flavor, if you ask them, is it not? Somebody may say, okay, I like Bhakti Thakur. Then he may say, okay, why your favorite is not Gaur Kishore Das Babaji or Jagannath Das Babaji? Bhakti Vinod Thakur's favorite is Jagannath Das Babaji, and your favorite is not Jagannath Das Babaji. Jine right. So you see so there is no completeness, incompleteness there. It's just a personal flavor. Is it? Like Mahaprabhu kept Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Rai next to him, always. And, why not Rup and Sanatan? So first of all, so why not Rup and Sanatan? Why Mahaprabhu did not keep Rup and Sanatan next to him? And why why our Swarup Damodar Goswami was not sent to Vrindavan? No? Because Mahaprabhu could have done that and these devotees would have happily accepted also. But if he would have done that, he would ask the same question. Like that. So then we would have asked the same question. Why Mahaprabhu is, So, and if Mahaprabhu keeps all the devotees next to him, then what Shiva will happen? So Mahaprabhu has to set a limit also. Because the purpose of his mission is preaching. Now Mahaprabhu could have kept Nityananda also, Rupa Goswami, everybody in Gambhira. Gambhira could accommodate the whole universe, no problem. Mahaprabhu's place. But then, then that Gambhira would have a spiritual world hidden from the whole material world, which would have again gone rotting. Is it not? Then it would be that Mahaprabhu will not come only because he is in Gambhira only. Mahaprabhu sent out his devotees to accomplish the mission. Is it not? So preference is not a problem. Krishna is fully happy and satisfied with everyone, with every cow of Vrindavan also. But so the differentiation is just a liking. But it's not that Krishna is less satisfied with it, or everybody has to become a gopi. And but from the devotee's perspective, he is complete. Please see, you see, even among avatars we have.